In the world of MMA, few organizations have the same level of prestige and respect as the legendary fighters from Pride FC. They've shaken many arenas and they'll never be forgotten, fought well in the age of stones and lions, and they're well known as the shards of the great Pride FC. Hello and welcome back to our YouTube channel. In today's video, we will be taking a trip down memory lane. Let's go back and remember some of the best fighting legends from Pride FC. But before we continue, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and also hit the subscribe button while you're down there for more interesting videos like this one. I thank you in advance. Alright, now that your work is done, let us do the rest. Sit back and enjoy the rest of the video. For years, Pride FC was the go-to promotion for the best mixed martial artists in the world, and it produced some of the most legendary fighters in the sport. We will take a look at some of the greatest fighters to come out of Pride FC, from Fedor Emelianenko to Mauricio Rua. These are some of the fighters that defined an era of MMA and helped put Pride FC on the map. Mark Hunt. Hunt the Hammer began his MMA career in Australia, where he quickly became a fan favorite due to his aggressive fighting style and willingness to take on anybody. He soon made his way to Pride FC, where he cemented his reputation as one of the toughest fighters in the world. He was able to record 13 wins, 14 losses, 1 draw, and 1 no contest. Hunt won the 2001 K1 Grand Prix and has a purple belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Ricardo Arona. Ricardo Arona, better known as the Monster, is a Brazilian mixed martial artist who competed in the light heavyweight division of Pride Fighting Championships. He is a former Pride middleweight and light heavyweight champion, as well as a 2-time Abu Dhabi Combat Club Submission Wrestling World Championship tournament winner. Arona made his professional MMA debut in 2000, winning his first 4 fights before losing to future UFC light heavyweight champion Quinton Jackson in 2001. He then went on a 5-fight winning streak, which included wins over future Pride stars Wanderlei Silva and Antonio Rogério Nogueira. Rampage Jackson. Quinton Jackson, also known as Rampage, is one of the most famous mixed martial artists in the world. He first rose to prominence as a heavyweight fighter for the UFC, but then transitioned over to Pride Fighting Championships. He has frequently fought against Japanese MMA legend Kazushi Sakuraba and was often referred to as his rival. He was known for his aggressive fighting style and explosive power, which led to him being one of the most feared fighters in the heavyweight division. Jackson made his debut in Pride FC in 2001 and quickly rose up the ranks by winning several fights via knockout. He soon became one of the top contenders in the heavyweight division and fought for the title against then-champion Fedor Emelianenko in 2003. Although he lost that fight, he solidified himself as one of the top heavyweights in the world. Antonio Minotauro Nogueira. Antonio Minotauro Nogueira is a Brazilian mixed martial artist and former Pride heavyweight champion. He is currently signed with the Ultimate Fighting Championship. Nogueira has been successful in both MMA and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, becoming a Pride heavyweight champion, interim UFC heavyweight champion, and a 2-time IBJJF world champion. In Pride, he defeated many notable opponents such as Josh Barnett, Dan Henderson, Mirko Krokop Filipovic, and Mark Coleman. Nogueira made his UFC debut at UFC 73 in July of 2007, losing to Frank Mir via submission in the second round. He then went on a 3-fight winning streak, defeating Tim Sylvia via submission to win the interim UFC heavyweight title at UFC 81, Fabrizio Werdun via unanimous decision at UFC 92, and Randy Couture via TKO at UFC 102, before losing his title rematch against Mir at UFC 112 in April of 2010. Most recently, he rebounded from this loss with a victory over Rashad Evans via split decision. Kazushi Sakuraba. And for number 6, we have Kazushi Sakuraba, a Japanese mixed martial artist and professional wrestler who has competed in Pride Fighting Championships, Rings, UWF International, K1, pancrase, and cage force. He is considered one of the greatest MMA fighters of all time. Sakuraba made his MMA debut in 1996 against Wyndham Lawrence. He quickly gained notoriety for his grappling skills, winning 4 out of his first 5 fights by submission. In 1997, he entered the open-weight tournament at UFC Japan, where he defeated opponents such as Royler Gracie and Marcus Silveira to win the tournament. Maurizio Shogun Rua. Maurizio Shogun Rua, the first UFC light heavyweight champion, as well as a former Pride FC middleweight and light heavyweight champion, Shogun has also competed for Strikeforce, Dream, and Shuto. Shogun began his mixed martial arts career in 2003, winning his first 4 bouts by knockout or submission. In 2005, he signed with Pride FC and quickly established himself as one of the promotion's top stars. He won the Pride Middleweight Grand Prix in 2006, becoming the first fighter to ever win a tournament in both the middleweight and light heavyweight divisions. Mirko Krokop. Next, we have Mirko Krokop. The Croatian mixed martial artist Mirko Krokop is a legend in the sport. He competed in the heavyweight division of Pride Fighting Championships, where he became the 2006 Openweight Grand Prix champion. Krokop began his professional career in K1, where he quickly established himself as a top heavyweight fighter. He won the K1 World Grand Prix in 2002 and 2003, becoming the first Croatian to win the tournament. Dan Henderson. Dan Henderson is a true MMA legend. A former Olympic wrestler, Henderson has competed at the highest levels of the sport for over 2 decades. He is a former UFC middleweight and light heavyweight champion and a 2-time Pride FC middleweight and welterweight champion. Henderson's biggest victory came in his last fight with Pride when he defeated Wanderlei Silva by knockout to win the Pride Middleweight Championship. It was a brutal knockout and one that cemented Henderson's place as one of the best of all time. Wanderlei Silva was one of the most dominant fighters in Pride FC. He was a force to be reckoned with in the middleweight division and even today is considered one of the greatest mixed martial artists of all time. Silva made his Pride debut in 2000 and quickly established himself as a top contender. He won his first 5 fights in the organization, including a victory over future UFC champion Rich Franklin. In 2003, Silva finally got his chance to compete for the Pride middleweight title, but he was unsuccessful in his attempt to dethrone then-champion Maurizio Rua. Despite this setback, Silva continued to compete at the highest level, and in 2006 he finally became Pride middleweight champion when he defeated Dan Henderson. Silva successfully defended his title twice before the organization was bought out by the UFC in 2007. Although he never fought for the UFC title, Wanderlei Silva will always be remembered as one of the greats of MMA. His aggressive fighting style and willingness to take on all fighters made him a fan favorite, and he will always be remembered as one of the legends of Pride FC. Fedor Emelianenko. And last but certainly not least, we have Fedor Emelianenko, a Russian mixed martial artist, samboist, and judoka, who has competed in the heavyweight division of MMA. He is widely considered to be one of the greatest MMA fighters of all time. Fedor began his martial arts training in Sambo and Judo as a teenager. He made his mixed martial arts debut in 2000 and quickly rose to prominence in the heavyweight division by winning the inaugural Pride Heavyweight Championship in 2003. He went on to defend his title twice before losing it to Antonio Rodrigo Nogueira in 2006. Throughout his career, Fedor has shown great versatility as a fighter, being equally adept at striking and grappling. His signature move is the spinning back fist, which he used to knock out opponent Ikuhisa Minowa in 2005. Fedor's achievements in mixed martial arts have earned him widespread recognition as one of the greatest MMA fighters of all time. In 2009, he was voted by fans as the 2009 Fighter of the Year for Sherdog's annual award show. In 2015, he was inducted into the UFC Hall of Fame. Pride FC was home to some of the most legendary MMA fighters in history. The likes of Fedor Emelianenko, Wanderlei Silva, and Mirko Cro Cop dominated the competition and earned their place among the MMA greats. Though Pride FC is no longer around, its legacy lives on through the fighters that it helped create. And ladies and gentlemen, that is it for today. We've managed to revisit some of the legendary fighters from Pride FC and what made them who they are today. But who did we forget to mention? Comment your favorite or any other legendary fighters from Pride FC in the comment section below. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like this one. Until next time.